Good evening, everyone, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Zmack Virtual's fourth episode of Say What You Mean. Good evening, everyone, or good morning. I just need to turn the volume down on, I had my own thing running because I'm watching on Facebook as well. So hi, everyone. My name is Llaura Hughes, and we're here tonight for Say What You Mean. The show is going to run for about an hour, roughly an hour, may run over, may finish a little bit earlier, but sit down and relax. Before you do relax, though, please go grab some pens, papers, pencils, because we have an arts installation that you can take part in. We do have a Zoom audience as well as a Facebook audience. So if you are here in the Zoom room, welcome. Thank you for joining us. What I would suggest, though, is that you go to the top right-hand corner of your screen and change from gallery view, or where it says gallery view, change it to hide video participants. What that will mean is you will be able to see just the cast as they're on the screen rather than seeing everyone else's boxes, because that can be a bit of a distraction. If you're in Facebook, don't worry, just sit back, relax and watch. Other things to consider are the fact interacting with us. So if you want to interact with us, whether you're in the Facebook world or in the Zoom world, there's a couple of things that you can do. We can't hear your laughter. We know you're sat there laughing, but we can't hear your laughter and applause. So if you're in the Zoom room, type in the number 5. In Thailand, the number 5 is ha. So ha ha ha. Sounds like you're laughing, or you can do W's for clapping your hands. Please feel free to use those in the Facebook world as well if you wish. We'll be able to see those as well here in the cast, so we can see you watching along and applauding. I'll also be asking for suggestions in the chat as we go through the show, helping us figure out how long we're going to move into the future and any questions you might have that get asked during the show. This is improv. You may have all watched improv in the past. It's improvised. We make it up on the spot, but the format of our show is a little bit different to what you may have seen before if you've never watched Say What You Mean. So we're going to start with some lips that are going to use your suggestions to start the creating the world. You're going to see some couples create relationships. We're going to have a little bit of a palette cleanser, which is the art section, which I would really encourage you to take part in as well and share your pictures with us at the end of the show. We'll also then follow our couples through their future. We'll be able to see them in time jumps and see how they evolve. We're also going to make advertisements, and then we'll finish off with our lips, finishing off the show for you. So that's the format of our show, little breakups. And this is our cast for this evening. So we've got 6 amazing people from around the world that are going to be performing for you. You'll see them all in turn as they create characters in this world. And to start the show, looking at the suggestions that we've had so far, we've had growth, we've had corn, we've had alarm, and we've had orange. So the suggestion that I'm going to go for this evening will be from Erica Ludwig, which is the word orange.
I have to say, I do love a good, healthy glow on someone. Just not a fake orange tan. Is that real?
Is it even healthy? I think that's like a great way to just get all sorts of cancer and just it just sounds like it's going to really do some bad things to you in the long run.
I don't know. I feel good about myself after I spend a half an hour in the booth. It's kind of me time, you know? I chill out, I relax, let all my thoughts drift away. It's just me and the artificial UV.
Oh my God, there is something in the color orange that is so happy. It's like a mixture of red and yellow. Well, it is a mixture of red and yellow. But when you see it, it seems like it's so fresh and juicy and citrusy and it just makes my day.
I grew up drinking orange juice all the time. It was refreshing. It was good. I was a kid. I loved it. Why does it cost $7 to buy a glass for brunch? That makes no sense.
I feel like I'm gonna show my age a little bit, but I'm gonna actually say back in my day, OJ didn't cost that much. And I'm like, I cannot believe I said back in my day. I just feel so old saying back in my day. You know what? Screw it. Back in my day.
Hey, I'm old. It's probably why I like being orange. Is it a healthy glow? Is it an unhealthy glow? It's my glow. My glow, my choice.
Orange, you're glad to see me today? Orange, you're glad I'm here. Yeah. Got some vitamin C? I've got vitamin U and I.
I'm so sorry that I'm late. Hey. Are you giving me the silent treatment again? Thanks for ordering me the coffee beforehand.
Again, at least you know you are always late.
I told you I had to finish up some things. I had to get the kids to school, and little Milton, he got his hands all sticky again with his peanut butter sandwich, and he spilled the orange juice everywhere, but it's all cleaned up.
We also said we will not talk about kids every time we meet.
You're right. You're right. I'm just so new to it, and I'm just trying to. You're right. I'm still a woman outside of my family and children, and I am empowered to do my own thing. Thanks for meeting me. How have you been?
Dating's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, all these guys with like fat tans, like, I mean, you could tell they did not pay premium on Tinder. You know, how can a guy with a good tan pay premium on Tinder?
Well, is a tan everything? Because there are some good guys out there that don't have tans. I mean, take my Charles. Pasty as the day is long. But he won't leave me. He's got nowhere to go.
He has nowhere to go. What's that? What is that?
I'm joking, honey. He's just
again. You are talking about your family when we should be just catching up.
Tell me about the last guy. What was wrong with him? Was it just a tan, or?
I don't want to talk about the last guy. I want to talk about you and me.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Oh my God. I have to come up with the topic again.
Oh, okay. How about our trip this year? Do you want to go somewhere cold and freezing, like lodges, to meet some like burly men, or maybe do you want to do something tropical, meet some tanned men like you like?
Tan is the way to go. No more fake tans. You know, like no more cheap stuff. You know, I only want to drink the expensive stuff. You know, let's go to a place where everything on the menu is just like $35 lattes and like $25 orange juice.
So
only the best for you. It got so expensive.
No, okay, not there.
Not that. There.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I could do this anymore. This it's really getting to me, this kind of island idyllic life with like $25 cappuccinos and $12 orange juice. It's
So you got to make some more money.
I mean, yeah, I mean, sure, tourism is fine and stuff. Like, I do surfing classes, but like, I feel like I want something more in life than just hanging out on a beach all day.
Well. Okay, I know a guy, and he's looking for somebody to pick up something and bring it back to the island. Probably
This
could find it in a
sounds
couple of months.
slightly, what's the word? Illegal?
It's discouraged. Let's put it that way. It's a discouraged activity on a tropical island. But
Is it
it's still a
discouraged by law enforcement and could potentially get me in deep trouble?
you have to define deep on your own terms. What does that mean to you? Deep.
I mean, okay, Jared, I love you. Like, you've been my best friend.
Of course.
I have to say, I sometimes really question your choice of people you hang out with.
I'm not saying I'm friends with this guy. I'm saying I do some things for him and it works out. So
Define workout.
just listen to the whole thing. Then you can say no.
Okay.
This is the whole thing, then you say no. You take the boat, the boring one, the slow one, the one that can handle a lot of space, right? A lot of cargo. You go down to that place where we met the guy the other time we did that thing, that way back when, and you just pick up a couple of boxes and you load them on the boat, and I'll give you a guy to go with you, and then you bring the stuff back.
Jared, we
Why?
both know it's not that simple because otherwise you would have done it yourself.
I've got a bad back and it's heavy lifting. This is why I'm passing this opportunity on to you, my friend. And you know what I'm talking about? This could be fine. This could be fine for you. You're younger, you're in better shape. This is it, but you don't have as much money, so this is a chance for you to benefit. Let me help you. Would you? What do you got to lose?
Like, my freedom, my...
Oh, it's not that. It's not that thing. It's another thing.
I can see. Oh, hello, you orange. What are you doing in my fortune telling room? Huh? Why are you
I'm
here?
I'm here because they say you're looking for blood O type.
Yeah, I'm looking for blood O type. You know, my fortune telling skills is so tragic. I always like fortune telling people of the tragedy that they will encounter.
I'm here. I can donate my blood. Type O.
Oh, please, can you give me? I beg of you, because my powers isn't working anymore. I need a fresh orangey drink or blood or anything liquid.
Ooh. What's in it for me,
Oh,
madam?
I will, after you put orangey in me, I will make a fortune telling skills with you. I will like pick a card and whatever you like to be fortune telling with, I will tell you.
Ooh. You know, madam, I am one of your idols, you know, and you're my idol too. Like, I always watch you in the movie and in the television. And if you pick one card for me now, I'll give you my blood.
Okay, what number do you like?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my. You call upon me. and I will answer you and show you mighty and great things which you do not know. So what? What kind of like area of your life that you need answer with?
Love life.
Love life. You know, love will come in your way. You don't need to worry. Because when love hits you, you cannot go away. You just need to find love for yourself first before you find another orange to love with. Just be patient with yourself. Okay?
I wanna find my 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 feelings, for others.
I know. You want to share that juicy love from within. But you have to just linger and make yourself right before you give it to others. Okay? Please. Please.
You know, I could sit and talk about oranges all day long. Pretty much the central focus of my life is citrus fruit, and I think there are a lot of us out there. But we also at this program try to reach a broader audience, and to do that, we explore the world of art. So I'd like to have Lisa and Andy and Kay and Benjamin all join me on stage. And what we're going to do is create, and Joy, thank you, Joy. We're going to create a work of art based on audience and cast member suggestions. So if you've got a pen and a piece of paper or multicolored pencils, please join us along. And of course, every week we choose one lucky winner to have an all expense paid weekend at Kurt's house. Absolutely free. That's what the winner of tonight's drawing will get. So if you're all ready, let's begin. And we'll start our questions with cast members, if you could turn your microphones on. And
I have a question.
Yes, Lisa.
About how large is this being?
Okay, the being is about 7'5", 7'5" and in centimeters, that would be about 190 to 195 centimeters. Benjamin?
What shape would you say it is? Is it rectangular, triangular, circular, or cubical? What shape?
It's curious. If you took like a snowman, right, a conventional snowman, we've all seen those on Christmas specials, and you made them all cubes, and then you turn the cube in the middle into a triangle, you'd have its basic body shape. Now, all that being said, on the top of the third cube, so we have cube, triangle, cube, and, wait for it, hexagon. Sort of like a Buckminster Fuller sort of thing, in the place where a human head would be, and it can swivel 360 degrees. Okay?
Does it have legs or arms, or how many legs or arms?
Okay, what we conventionally call legs and arms are very, very Earth-centric, very Gaia-centric sort of organism, mechanisms for an organism. This is a being from another planet, and it's adapted to a different sense of gravity, which is variable. So it has sort of spring-like appendages on the top and sort of
on the hexagon.
On the hexagon itself, coming out the sides like this, two spring-like things going on that go like this, sort of like those wacky bug eyes that you see in cheap carnival hats, And then it's got 4 appendages on the bottom cube, 1 on each corner, and it uses those to move around. And it can either rotate those appendages, the bottom of the appendages spin like wheels, or they can perform like close to elephant feet. That's sort of an idea. Okay? Next.
How many heart does it have?
Great question. It has a broken heart, but it also has a functioning heart. And then it has a third heart, which is in the shape of a 27-year-old Olympic quality sprinter. Big, this thing can gallop up the air, gallop up the oxygen, and burn it right out. This thing can go, people. this thing can really go. Okay?
Does it fly blindly, or how
It's
can it
kind
tell
of
which direction to go?
this is all right. We've seen this, and we're not sure how it works exactly, because sort of like some of Da Vinci's aircrafts in the notebooks, it shouldn't work, but they do. The hexagon, the Bucky Fuller head, spins 360 degrees. The spring bolts go straight out, and it sort of comes up like a copter, and it uses its buns, its derriere, to navigate through space. Not a particularly elegant form of motion, but it is a form of motion.
Question from the audience, Rob. Question from the audience.
Yeah.
Erica Ludwig would like to know, does this creature have teeth? And if it does, how many teeth does it have?
It has 7 teeth, all of different sizes, 4 on the top, 3 on the bottom. The one in the bottom is triangular, and it has venom. It has a little sac which pushes venom out into its prey.
And another audience question from Zachary William Bernard Dans. He would like to know, hi Zach, what is the creature's horoscope?
Ooh. Well, it can be born at different times of the year. So there's a Pisces, predominantly Pisces, and then there's a bunch of Gemini, and there's Taurus, and you do not want to get into it with the Tauri, right? They like the liquor. They like to have a few drinks. They get very opinionated and very disappointed in the Chicago Cubs, the New York Jets, Chelsea, odd-numbered years. You just want to walk away from that conversation.
I have a question. I assume with this hexagon head, it might be a little bit embarrassing. Do they have some kind of coif or some type of pompadour? Do they have a certain hairstyle that they prefer?
Oh God, when they arrived on this planet, they went through a very, very awkward phase of trying to appear more human than they actually are. So they grew out little things and had implants put in, and they tried the cornrows thing, and they went with the braids thing, and then they went with the whole Viking kind of going down like this and going like that, the pointed beard with the jewelry in the middle. And then they just realized, no, that's not them. So about 5 years ago, they started the golf ball project, wherein they completely have shorn themselves of all adornment, and they just rock the small interlocking plates. Benjamin, I believe you had a question?
Yeah, so this being has come from another planet, so I really want to know, why did they come here to Gaia, to Earth? What are they doing here?
Oh God, because of the surfing? They really like surfing. They really, really, really like Thai foods, especially the small vegetarian salads, which are really hot to eat. Love that stuff, just love that stuff. And they are big fans of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, and I'm available as a spokesmodel for all of the art sections for this time going forward in time, just to say that. But that's not important. So food and fun. Next.
Okay.
Joy?
What is the color of its body, its head?
Well, they have 3 different ethnotypes, if you will. Those that grew up around the equator of the planet are sort of darker. Sort of the same thing that we had to do with getting vitamin D from the sun and synthesizing it. Sort of went through the same thing. So people who live around the equator tend to be a little darker so they can repel the excess sunlight. People who live towards the top are much, much paler, much paler. And in the middle are all of the combined offspring. And it's important to realize that none of them are completely comfortable with their color. They all have a little bit of a few issues. We've got time for 2 more questions, please.
Yeah, I was wondering, sorry, but you mentioned surfing. Does it have any other hobbies, things that kind of bring it joy being here on this earth?
It is mad for cribbage. It just loves to play cribbage. Bring it up. They'll always make themselves available to you. They like Twister a lot. They think Twister is a really fun game. And they really, really like 18th and 19th century Russian novels. They're really, really big fans.
Dostoevsky.
More Dostoevsky than anybody else. I don't really see them relating to it, but for some reason it just struck a chord. Particularly Brothers Karamazov. Figure it out. I don't know what that is. Okay, we have time for one last question. I'm sorry, from the audience, I'm sorry, they're under a restraining order, so we're not going to discuss that issue at this time. Thank you very, very much. Bit delicate, okay? So if you're all ready, if you've been drawing along in the audience, you can send your drawing to Santa Claus at the North Pole, or you can just attach it into the chat down here, and we will load it up. And remember, you are playing for an all expenses fun-filled weekend at Kurt's house, so it is a good time. And if the cast are ready to present their drawings, we could begin. Who would like to go first? Okay, and Benjamin. Benjamin has shown us the dynamic structure of filter design in Snapchat, of course. This is capturing it in midlife. If you take a look, it's got the golf ball-like head and the little bit of dreadlock thing that is letting go of, the very, very big teeth, very functional teeth, and the pointy bit, which pokes up into the unprotected flesh of its victims. And of course, it's on a surfboard. They also like skateboarding, and they are mad for that little thing where you take the round cylinder and you put a board on top of it and try to balance it. And of course, they've got great calves. So well done, Benjamin. Lovely photograph. Okay. And next up, we have Joy, who will fill the screen. And Joy has captured their love of mid-century modern furniture, particularly in a white. They're just suckers for off-white. Their entire houses are beige. It's really interesting stuff. And she's captured this colorscape and these sort of iguana-like characteristics that I was a little sensitive about bringing this up. But yes, they are multicolored around the face, which is a bit awkward in some social situations. And they all have blue bodies. And a lovely, lovely surfboard. Of course, we all know they're longboard people. None of this shortboard stuff for them. Thank you, Joy. And moving on, we have Lisa. Okay, and Lisa has done a marvelous, we're having a technical difficulty. So let's just, there we go, that's readable. Okay, so there we go, Lisa. Lisa has captured the geometry of these characters perfectly, right? So the geo and geo coming together. You can see the body shape perfectly articulated. You can see the twister board, which always takes them out of this world, and the surfboard right next to it. And the spring coil things generally work quite like that. I think very much early Terry Gilliam animation, who may have somehow affected their evolutionary process. Okay, thank you, Lisa. And moving on, we go to Andi. Oh, I'm sorry, Andi. I know, I should have shaved today. I just didn't get around to it. Sorry. Okay, and the food and the fun, the cribbage and the twister and the surfboards, and they're 195 centimeters tall, and they're venomous. Don't forget they're venomous, and they have a broken heart, so they're a little unpredictable, right? If you want to date one, it's best to do the first couple of times in a crowd. They like group things before they're more comfortable with a one-on-one thing. Okay, and finally, Cosmopolitan Blonde from Shanghai. We have Kay stepping in with, can you go a little bit more centered? There we go. There we go. And Kay has captured the sense of motion that exists in the copter-like headdress that flies around, and they get above the palm trees. That's very right. And most of them are nearsighted, that's true. So they have glasses, but they like to take them off whenever they're outdoors and exercising. They're very self-conscious about it. And of course, the surfboard and the twister. A very lovely drawing. And thanks to all of our participants today. And we will come back at the end of the show and we will analyze Eric, who has presented a drawing, but we have just run out of time. So we will move on at this point. Thank you for playing.
Okay, so now we're going to go back to the world, but how much time has passed? Eric in our Zoom audience has suggested 137, and so I have calculated that as 4.5 months. So we are going to jump into the future. 4.5 months, we will see where our couples are.
Absolutely. This was a brilliant idea. It's gorgeous here. Oh, and all the men. Well, you should have a fun time. I know I can't. I'm married with children. But you, oh my goodness. I think that one's looking at you. He's looking at you.
Stop trying. Stop trying to make me. It's embarrassing.
Okay. Let's just grab like a mojito or something. Maybe lay out, relax. Oh,
I have my mojito here. Like
take easy,
extra
girl.
large.
I'm getting on in my age. I can't carry you back to the hotel room if you overdo it. Just, oh my goodness, look at that one. Well, you should certainly have a lot of fun here. I might just read a
I thought this trip was about us again. We were just checking everyone out. Like,
well, there's just so much to see. They're all just so delectable.
I don't feel our friendship is enough for you.
No. But your friendship is more than enough. You know I love being around you. You bring in that wild side of me, and I know I digress and I talk about family and other things more. In fact, how are you? Why don't you tell me how you're feeling about the trip?
I just did. I just told you how I felt, and you're asking me again how I feel?
I'm sensing a little hostility.
Yes. I mean, are you talking to me like I'm your kid? Like, I get that. Like, you're like, oh, And are you like treating me like I'm your kid now?
You make a very fair point. I'm sorry. I apologize if what I said came across as some type of undermining or patronizing phrase. Let's just hang out and have a drink. We deserve it.
Yeah, I think this has been a good change for me. I'm glad you could. You don't seem very pleased.
I guess I'm more confused by than anything else. I mean, I like it.
Look, okay, let's be real here. I was not going to do that shady thing for your shady friend. It was going to be a death trap. And you know what happened 2 months later? He got picked up by the police.
For carrying a tanning bed. That's not illegal. It's just tacky. All you had to do was pick up a tanning bed, bring it back to the island. I know, tanning bed, tropical island resort. The amount of cash you can make from people who don't like to sit in the sun but want to look good at dinner time, it's huge.
Okay,
Huge
Jared?
cash disappeared.
Jared?
One! Yes?
We need to work on your communication skills because I'm saying this to you as a friend, but when most people say, hey, I know this guy who can pay you money to do this thing, my first instinct is red flag. That's a red flag.
I'm responsible? I'm liable for your paranoia?
I mean, I'm just saying, if you want to help out this guy, you need to work better on explaining this.
Gee, all you had to do was do something tacky. And pocket the
I mean, you
bill.
could have just said, hey, tanning bed, which already sounds way less sketchy than, hey, I know this thing, no questions asked.
I can't believe you're laying this on my doorstep.
I mean, okay, oh, look, look, I didn't want to get into this. You
You
brought it
moved-
up. I came here because I wanted to find myself and find something different. It is different, and
Oh yeah,
look, I'm
it
happy.
sure is. It sure is. How is Greenland? How is being the only
Jared,
non-Inuit speaking person
Jared,
in Greenland? Fun time?
Jared, I'm sensing some negativity here. I'm trying to find something nice here, and you seem to. I feel like you're blaming me.
I'm mocking you, which is significantly different from blaming you.
Okay, that's still
I
a
am
negative
mocking you.
emotion, but sure.
I am going to go, when this conversation is over, I'm going to go walk along the beach. I may get that last half an hour of surfing in. I might not, because you know what? It'll be there tomorrow if I don't. You are in Greenland. How's it going, Nanook?
Fine, okay. I
Hey.
don't really understand the need to mock me here. I am not like saying, hey, how's the beach? I bet you have sand in your toes. What?
Is that necessary? I hope you feel better about yourself.
Ay,
Oh,
Madam,
how are you?
I've given you all my blood already, Madam. All I
Oh,
have is like a powdered type of me. But
oh
it's
my
worth
gosh.
it.
I'm so sorry. I got so forgetful. I'm getting older and I'm powerless now.
Powerless? Why? I give you all my blood. I give you all of me. There's nothing left. My skin is not here. I am already a powder, you know? And you're saying that you are not, you are now powerless?
Yeah, because I think I need not only orange, I need a fruit salad. A variation of fruits, not only one.
So you're saying I'm not enough. I've given everything to you, but still I'm not enough.
Yeah, and I also need salad to have a balanced diet.
Well then, because you're my idol, I'll find people. I'll find banana. I'll find papaya. I'll find
Oh,
everything. I
thank you.
just want you to be alive, madam.
Okay, Zoko, can you just, in return of your love and your exchange of your love and your all of the blood, orangey blood and all of you, I will read the card for you. What number do you like?
4.
Four again? Okay, one, two, three, four. Okay. You know your cards. It's color green. Be strong, of good courage. Do not be afraid of finding that banana and all, or not be dismayed because you're a powdered juice already. For the light is with you wherever you go. Yeah.
Madam, madam,
Yes.
you made my life important, madam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm getting weak already. I'll pass. I'll pass them. I'll
Madam.
pass the powers to you. Ah.
Have you been injured in a tanning accident? They're more common than you would believe. We here at Round and Round and Round want to help you make sure that you are legally taken care of and get the money that you are entitled to. Simply call today where you can talk to a lawyer for just $9.97, provided it's cash. Call today and act along. Are you having trouble being heard?
Are you having trouble seeing orange? These special glasses are going to help you to avoid that. I used to have orange hair. I used to be the center during Halloween. But no longer. With these special glasses, you can actually see orange color, and avoid being the laughing stock during Halloween. So hit me up. They come in multiple colors, fashionable colors. So when you go to the hairdressers, you never need to be afraid again.
Friends, are you tired of having to go back to your old life just saying, oh, it was lovely there for a couple of days or a week? Why? When you can relocate, let us help you change your life by faking your own death. We'll take care of the bodies, the blood samples, everything. We'll even lay in just a little bit of cocaine so they have a little bit of suspicion. Don't you worry, we will cover everything for you at newlife.com.
I used to be very popular. Everyone used to like to eat me. But then health food became popular and everyone wanted to eat an orange instead. Remember, there was a time where fast food, junk food, and candy were a part of everyone's life. Make it a part of your life again. This donut leads with you. The donuts are alone.
You're escaping with someone and you don't want to be familiar with the place, or people will not be familiar with you. You have to have this orange scarf and you just like put it in your neck, and whenever you are escaping from someone, you just like that, like that, like that, so no one will see you, and you can cover your face and no one will guess that it's you. So escape with that orange scarf.
Are you tired of having just one life? No worries! You can now borrow from Kitty Cat! Yes, we sell a cat that has 9 lives, and you can borrow not just one, not just two, but 9 of your lives. So call now. If you call now, we'll add another life to your cat that will be yours. So call now, CAT10009 for more details.
Hello.
Now we're going to go back to the world. But let's see how much time has passed for our couples. We are going to take the suggestion of 11 from Erica Ludwig on Facebook. So we are going to jump 11 days from when we last saw our couples. 11 days.
Oh, this has been just so much needed. Oh, it's you. Hi, Sylvie. What do you want now?
I think you need sunscreen. I think you need more. I see a mole starting to grow, like somewhere here.
I thought you were one of those people who just didn't care about other things. You want to talk about your friendship. You know what? I think I'm fine, just as is. In fact, you know what? When you go back home, go ahead and send my love to my family. I'm staying here. I've met Guy.
I mean, that's why I want to talk about it. Like you've gone from one extreme to another.
You seem very judgy about that. You who was going off all the time looking for tanned men. Now I don't have to find painted ones. They're all around me. And they all adore me.
Good. Okay, so stay here for a bit. Stay here. Don't do anything. No more runs. No more taking care of like Milton and his sticky hands. These guys here probably have pretty sticky hands as well.
Don't worry, honey. They're all oiled up. No sticky. Everything just slides. It's like making love to a dolphin.
Yeah, but if that makes you happy, that makes me happy. Like I said, this is about a girls' trip, right? I just want to see you happy.
Oh, I don't know if this is a trip anymore. I think I'm staying. But it's been fun with you.
You know what? Just always shifting from one thing to another. You know, like first is talking about like other people in your life, or your husband, your kids, and then now it's just being distracted by other men.
You know what,
Yeah,
Sylvia?
okay.
You're right. There were so many times when I just brought up other topics and I just didn't talk about you because you had to go see all these tanned men and you were sick of hearing about my life. You know what? You're right. I'm holding you back. I'll let you be with you. Bye now.
– You.
How's
again.
the weather? How's the weather?
Wouldn't you like to know?
No, not really. Couldn't care less.
Yeah,
Just
I
bringing
know. Yeah, for
conversation.
some reason you have stuck around in Greenland for the past week and a half.
This is crazy. Why do people do this to themselves?
Yeah, why? What? You give me so much crap about living here, yet you haven't left.
Frozen. Ah.
Okay, do you want like me to take you inside or something? Jared, I think you want to tell me something here. I
want to go home.
Okay.
I want you to go home with me. I want to go back to the island.
Oh, so that's what it's about.
This
so you
is
can't go
crazy.
home unless I go with you. So I apparently am what? Like your sidekick or something?
That's why. Because I'm psychic.
I'm happy here.
How
And
could you be happy here?
Look, I told you I wanted something different, and I love the invigorating cold, the weather. Look at these beautiful mountains everywhere. I love this. And if you don't like it, fine, but... Okay, Jared? You are suffering altitude sickness. You have exerted yourself way too much. Here, breathe, take some oxygen, breathe in, breathe out, and have some fruit.
I gotta go.
I've gathered all my friends so I can save you. But I think it's too late. So I hope you're happy wherever you are. I'm happy wherever I am too. And I hope this letter, you will receive it.
How happy it is to have a friend in her. She's so happy. She's so giving. Generosity is full. Her heart is full of love. Have you found a friend like her? When you have, keep her, keep him. Wow. I want to eat my salad, but my flesh can't eat already because I'm a soul. So treasure the friendship while you are alive. Goodbye. I'm going to the extraterrestrial world now. Bye-bye, my dear friend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, madam. Thank you for the powers.
With all that's said and done, aren't you glad I stayed?
Some puns are as bad as some friendships. You can't love them, but you can't leave them either.
Yeah, some friendships are like a sour orange. You just don't want to finish it, so you slow down.
Well, some friends are sweet. Some friends are sour. But what's most important is the way you exchange the deliciousness of life, the way you go through the sour and the sweet things that happens. That's life. It's not perfect, but it'll be delicious.
That's true. I mean, you have the very sourness of an orange, and you also have the very sweetness. The one thing is, with all of your friends, no one's going to be perfect. Being a friend is a fine art. Anyone could be friends with the most popular, beautiful, and lovable people. But being a friend with someone who has their quirks and accepting them for that, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think going back to the metaphor, I think friend is someone who can just take the sweet and the sour, kind of put it into a smoothie and says like, wow, that's really refreshing. Instead of saying like, hey, have you ever tried Pilates instead? And you're like, what? We're not even talking about exercising. That makes no sense.
Yeah, friendship is something to be savored. Because you never really know when it's going to end. Not the friendship, but this journey. Enjoy every sandwich and savor every orange.
Life is juicy, so squeeze as much as you can from it. That's it.
And that is the show. Thank you for watching. Please stay. Don't go anywhere because we've actually had some audience members send in their pictures from the art section. So we're going to bring those up on the screen. We're also going to do some announcements in regards to what's coming up in the Smack world. And then you'll get to meet the cast. So let's bring up the pictures from the two audience members. So we have Eric in Shanghai, who is sat in a Zoom room with us. So this is his great picture here. We can see actually we've got some shapes on top of each other. So he's taken the shapes. I feel there's a nice little drink there, having a drinky poos maybe after the show to enjoy himself. As was mentioned, Twister is one of the creature's favorite games. So there's Twister there getting ready to limber up and stretch those limbs onto that Twister thing. So thank you, Eric. That is an amazing picture. And then we've also got a Facebook viewer, Zach from Washington, DC. Thank you for getting up early to watch this, Zach. He has used what looks like noodle bread background, using his own backgrounds for his images, which is very fancy in this world. We've got the creature eating, drinking. I think that is a key message about friendship, making sure you're spending time with each other, not just in the virtual world, but in the physical world where you can. And yes, the horoscope of being a Taurus is the most important thing, as we can see here. Thanks again, Zach and Eric, for your pictures. And any other audience members, if you were drawing along, please feel free to send them to us, and we will feature them in future posters or shows that we have coming up. So thanks again for those images. I'm going to pass over to Kurt, who's going to talk about the really exciting things that are coming up in the next month or so. So Kurt, I'll hand over to you. I'll disappear for a moment and I'll come back.
Hey, thank you, Laura, and congratulations to Say What You Mean for another fantastic show. Special thanks to our friends who did these drawings for us. If you're watching from Facebook, please go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/smackcomedy. Click on message, send us your drawing. Maybe it'll be used in our poster for the next Say What You Mean show. And that's also where you can find out what's happening on Zmack Virtual, such as coming up a week from Tuesday, it's Improv Unforked. Susan Messing and Rachel Mason have been working with a group of improvisers in a 5-week class, and they've been teaching some of the fantastic stuff that they have done as legends of Chicago improv. And this is going to be a one-of-a-kind show. And after the show on the 31st, Susan and Rachel are going to stay around for a Q&A session in which they'll also announce their next round of Unfuck Your Improv. So if you're interested, please show up for that on the 31st. Also, on Sunday, September 5th, it is our wildly popular Puppet Improv Jam and Show. It's a 2-hour block. The first hour and a half, you're working with Brenna and some great puppet improvisers. Doesn't matter if you don't have puppet experience. Doesn't matter if you don't have a puppet. They'll show you how to create one. They've been made out of everything that folks have around. And then the last 30 minutes will be live streamed here on Zmack Virtual as a puppet jam. That's coming up September 5th. Contact Brenna at that Gmail address, brennamj@gmail.com, if you'd like to join, or visit the Zmack Facebook page. And the show that I direct, you'll also see Joy and Andy again on Friday, 24th September, as Typical Heroes returns for a fantastic show. We do short form improv. We have some pre-recorded digital short sketches, and we do live improvised sketches based on your suggestions. However, if you can't wait until Friday, September 24th, and you're willing to stay up a little later at midnight on Thursday, the 26th, well, it's Friday, the 27th. So you'll be up on Thursday night, and then if you're in our time zone anyway, at midnight on Friday, August 27th, Typical Heroes is doing a set in the Improv Festival, and it's got all of our folks from India, the Philippines, Malaysia, China, UK, Canada, the USA. Please check us out. And for everything Zmack Virtual, everything Zmack, you can check us out on all of our many social media pages. Look at the QR codes, folks. Get those phone cameras out now and start clicking away. You might be watching us from Facebook, but that QR code will take you directly to our Facebook page. If you are in China or are a WeChat fan, we've got a very active series of WeChat groups, WeChat channels that show all the things that's happening live on stage at Zmack Shanghai. Of course, then there's our Instagram. This show tonight, if you'd like to watch it again or see other episodes of Say What You Mean, are available on our YouTube and LinkedIn. Absolutely. Improv is a fantastic communication tool, and we've got experienced and trained facilitators that can deliver applied improv learning and development for your organization. If you're looking for something different in change management, presentation skills, persuasion and influence, team building, anything like that, give us a buzz over at LinkedIn, and let's see what we can set up for you. And that's it for us at the Zmack Improv family. Back over to you, Laura.
Thanks, Kurt, and thank you for being our technician this evening. We're going to invite the cast back on to introduce themselves, tell you, the audience, where you can find them and see more of them. So come on, cast, put your screens on, show your beautiful faces, and we'll go around the room and introduce ourselves. So hey, Lisa. Lisa gets up at 4 a.m. every morning to rehearse with us. Is it that early or even earlier?
Alarm clock is set at 4:30, and I just try to make some kind of tea or something to eat to shove in my mouth and just look in the mirror like, okay, do I look somewhat sane? The answer is never yes, but I still join you guys. It's fun.
You do indeed. You do indeed. Lisa, where can people find you, if anywhere?
Well, actually, I don't have anything like Instagram or anything like that. I am on Facebook, and I currently work at a San Francisco Moment Improv Theater as well. So hopefully I will start getting around to social things. This is about as social as I like to be.
Nice. Thanks, Lisa. If the rest of the cast want to join us, you don't have to do one at a time, but she is here. She is on the screen. I will ask her to unmute herself because I might have accidentally muted her on purpose. It is Kay.
Hi. Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm based in Shanghai, and yeah, it's just been really enjoyable doing Zoom improv that hides that is the best for like an introvert like me. But yeah, I'm hoping when COVID becomes better that I can do more offline improv, but right now I'm just freaking out still with crowds.
Yeah. Well, we love having you with us, Kay. So thanks for being in the show tonight. Yeah.
Zoomprov. It's improv for introverts.
That is why it starts with the letter I. Yeah. Benjamin, no one in the world has known this before. That is great. We're going to use that next time for our next show. And as he spoke, Benjamin, tell us about yourselves.
So, as you may or may not know, my name is Benjamin, and yeah, you can find me and Say What You Mean. And like Lisa, this is pretty much as social as I get these days. So yeah, you better not miss the next show if you want to see more of me. There you go.
Yeah, you have been warned. We'll move along. So next to you on my screen is Joy.
Hello. Thank you for watching. Next show, I'll be here still in Say What You Mean. It will be our fourth show. Yay!
Be our fifth show.
Oh, fifth. Yeah. Fifth. Wrong number. I'll be also having a show with the typical heroes, and that's all. I'm excited to jam to have a show online, whatever it is. I have my page, I have my Facebook. Please add me, please. That's all. Great day.
Thanks, Joy. Everyone add Joy. Make sure you add her on your Facebook. And are you on Instagram as well, Joy? Yeah, cool.
Yes,
let's go to Rob. Rob, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Rob. I live in Manila. And you can always find me on Say What You Mean. Right now, I have a TV series called Love to Last, which is on, what's that thing called? Netflix. You can join that. And a couple of movies where I play bad, scary European people. This is the time when I'm funny, which is basically this show. But please join, and I hope to see you soon.
Thanks, Rob. And I'll pass over to Andy, who is a co-coach of this team with me. So Andy, tell everyone about yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Andi Fei from Manila, and you can see me here and Say What You Mean in Typical Heroes under Zmack, and Trash Kingdom under Queen City Comedy, and under Disaster Time, the Pack Theater. And also, I would like to thank you all, audience, the one who watched this and the one who will still watch this, because this is recorded, so you can watch this anytime you want. So if you've missed this because you're sleeping or you're in work, you can just click it and then play it, and then you can watch us over and over again.
That's the nice thing about time zones, isn't it? If you can't be here to watch it live, you can watch it again with this virtual world of improv where things are recorded rather than in the before times where it didn't make sense if you weren't there in the theatre at the time that it happens. That's the great thing about online improv. My name is Llaura H_improviser. You can see me in many things, but Say What You Mean is one of the best teams that I've worked with. So check me out on Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, see us next time, date TBC. But if you check out any of the stuff that Kurt was mentioning earlier, then they'll promote our next show when we've got a date agreed. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your evenings, mornings, lunchtimes. Eat, sleep, joy, be merry, make friends,
Eat your
hate
veggies.
friends. What was that, Rob?
Eat your veggies.
Eat your veggies. So we'll wave
Or
goodbye.
oranges.
Eat your oranges, exactly. Eat your oranges. Have some vitamin C. See you all soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you later.